So boys and girls, we're going to talk about point of view today. And by point of view, you say that we mean
Point of perspective.
perspective, right. Someone's perspective. Autumn, what do you think when you think of point of view?
Say who's talking in the book, is it first person, second person, or
Ooh.
third person point of view?
Absolutely. That's exactly right. What else?
It's like a biography. You see someone else's life and not your own.
What exactly? So if I am getting my point of view, then obviously the story is from my perspective. It's from what I think. But if I'm getting someone else's point of view, like you said, it's from someone else's perspective. So if we're telling the exact same story, is my point of view going to be exactly the same as Nolan's point of view? No. Now, would they be very similar? Yes. Like earlier, I was telling about Chloe and Bo. And I was giving my perspective or my point of view about their personalities and how they write. Was I pretty close, Nolan? Yes. So he's like, you're pretty dead on. Because Bo is a very, very, very picky person. Am I right? Yes. He doesn't want anything touched. He doesn't want anything put out of place. And he doesn't let me do it either. Like I said with his laundry. Literally, when he puts his laundry in the washing machine, he knows how many socks are in there. Like he literally counts to make sure, like when I do my own laundry, I always have an extra sock. Or maybe 2 extra socks that don't match each other. And I'm just like, what on earth? They matched each other when I had them on my feet. And I put them in the laundry hamper and put that hamper stuff in the washing machine. How am I missing 2 socks? Not Bo. By golly, when he puts his laundry into the washer, he knows he has the exact right amount of socks. And then he puts his own clothes in the dryer to make sure nothing is missing. And then I fold everything. If I have only 1 sock left over, can you imagine, Nolan? What he would act like? Yeah, he would be crazy. But Chloe, on the other hand, her point of view of all of this is like, I don't even care. Like, she doesn't even care at all if I put the right socks together. If I mismatched all of them and didn't put the right socks with each other, her point of view, her perspective of all of that is, it doesn't even matter to me. I don't care. But, boys and girls, it's the exact same situation. It's just told differently from a different point of view. Okay. So, as a writer of true stories, because personal narrative is a true story. As a writer of a true story, you already know how important it is to write from inside the story moment. Telling the story as it unfolds. But today, I want to teach you that writers are especially careful about telling the details of the story exactly the way the narrator perceived them at the moment. So if you're going to tell a story, the person who's reading it wants to know exactly what happened. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you don't leave anything out. Tell exactly what happened, moment to moment. When people talk about point of view, they're talking about the way the narrator tells the story through his or her eyes and other senses. The details in the scene need to be the ones that the narrator can take notice of. Otherwise, they don't belong there. If it's something that it's really not important, it doesn't belong in the story. when I think about writing inside a point of view, I always think back to when I was writing about changing my kids' diapers. And at that moment, their father, of course, he doesn't walk in until it's, I'm already doing it, of course, walked through the door, and he had this great big box. And I wanted to run over, and of course, I was like, what's in the box? And, but I can't leave the kids on the changing table, because as soon as you look away, even for an instant, they fall off the changing table. And guess what happened? I am standing at the changing table, and I look over, and, he's got this great big box telling me about the box, and I have the diaper, go to put it in the diaper genie, and kind of, in a little bit, watching what Andy's doing, that's my husband, watching what he's doing, got Bo here on the changing table, throwing the diaper away, and so I take my other hand, and because it's a diaper genie type thing, so I lift up the lid, put the diaper in, and then you got to kind of make it go around in circles so that the diaper doesn't get all stinky, but it still does. And then Bo rolls. I'm still standing there. Andy's got the box, he's talking, I've got the diaper, he rolls. I go over to catch him, and when I do, I catch him, but I also go down and broke 2 toes. 2 of my toes. I have no idea how that happened, but saved the baby, broke 2 toes in the process. So, kiddos, when you're telling it, of course, my husband's point of view in this whole story is totally different from mine. He's telling the story about, he says that I wasn't paying close enough attention, that I was thinking about the box, and I'm like, you were standing right there. Why didn't you put the box down and change the baby's diaper, or come over and help, or something? Put the diaper in the diaper genie. My point of view is totally different from his. And it's the same story. So, anyway, crazy story about broken toes. Yeah. Do you see how my story and Andy's story can be totally different? Now, when Andy's telling the story, he doesn't have the same story and kind of puts in some extra stuff that doesn't need to be in there. Now, I'm going to read another story about somebody changing their sister's diaper. And her dad brings in a box. Now, if I stay on topic, give me a thumbs up. If I go off of topic and it doesn't make any sense, give me a thumbs down. Okay? So here's a little bit of the story. I was still at the changing table, my sister squirming beneath me, when my dad put the box on the kitchen table and then, peeling off a long strip of tape and pulling back on one of the flaps, looked in on a jumble of family photos, with little photo albums scattered throughout. The photos showed me and my sister when we were little. They were the ones he'd lost. On topic? She's standing there, her dad has the box. Are we talking about her standing there and what's inside the box? Yes. Now, I was at the changing table. See what you think about this one. My sister squirming beneath me when my dad came kitchen and dropped a very heavy carton on the kitchen table. I heard him rustling about, and then I heard him mutter, "Unbelievable! Just unbelievable!" He looked up from across the room and called, "Remember all those lost photos from our farm? They're all here." Does that sound a little better? Was that one? So, what do you think about the first one? You're all telling me, okay, you're right. What do you think about the second one? Did I stay a little bit more on topic?
Yeah.
Yes. She's still at the changing table. She's still changing her sister's diaper. And Dad comes in with a box and just gives us the information. Okay? Now, but think about the fact she was using dialogue. What Dad said, those words that came out of Dad's mouth, she didn't leave that out. Make sure that you don't forget that dialogue is important. Okay, now, I made my way slowly toward the front of, so let's think about, once you get used to the concept of stepping back into time, into the situation that you are in, that it's easy to leave spots out of the story. So let's not forget to not to leave parts out of the story. So, we're going to read another story. Again, if I stay on topic, give me thumbs up. If I don't, give me thumbs down. I make my way slowly toward the front of the line. As one by one, kids in soggy bathing suits sat at the edge of the water slide before disappearing suddenly down the chute. I was next in the line, and the thumping in my heart was almost audible. I can do this, I thought to myself. I took one step forward. Was I on topic? Yes. Okay. Soon, I was at the edge of the slide. I leaned forward, just enough to peer down below at the small blue rectangle of a pool, dotted with the knees of swimmers below. I shut my eyes quickly, dizzied from the height. Am I still on topic?
Yeah.
Okay. I carefully sat down, feeling the cold rush of water beneath me. My hands gripped the edges of the slide. "Ready?" the attendant asked. "I think so," I replied, still unsure. Still okay? Mm-hmm. My cousin waited at the bottom of the slide, wondering what was taking me so long. But we're kind of on topic, but do we care about her cousin? No. If her cousin is important, do I need to make sure to include that throughout my writing? That she was going up to the top, her cousin was with her, he was waiting at the bottom for her. We need to make sure to give enough detail if that's an important part of the story. So, just right now, we need to take a couple of seconds and decide how incredibly powerful small moments are in our story. So, let's think about how to write personal, powerful narratives. You need to think of a person, place, or moment in your life, maybe a first or last time when you realize something that matters, and write a story about it. Remember, think about that important moment. We need to focus on one episode and write with detail. Don't summarize a long stretch of time. If she's writing about standing at the top of the slide, we need to make sure to tell every single moment, every detail. Don't summarize I'm standing at the top of the slide and I'm scared. Help readers picture the episode. A small action or exact dialogue. Don't just leave out what somebody says. If you want someone to talk, include those quotation marks. Put a comma after someone said. Put your quotation marks. Tell me what they said. Don't forget to put punctuation inside your quotation marks if you're at the end of a sentence. Make sure to climb inside the moment and write within the narrator's point of view. Again, talk to me about what we said for point of view. What do we know about point of view? Yes?
It's perspective.
It's perspective. Tell me what that means. If I'm writing about someone's point of view, their perspective, what's that mean?
You're looking through their eyes, not your own.
I'm looking through their eyes, not your own. Now, if I'm telling the story, is it my own? Absolutely. Autumn.
First person or second, third.
Yes. Depending upon who's telling the story. Am I doing it by I all the way through?
Or the narrator's talking.
Yes. Sometimes it's the narrator talking. Absolutely. Okay. Boys and girls. Today, you're going to talk. You're going to write another personal narrative. If you want to finish what you were doing yesterday, that's fine. If you want to start another one, point of view. Make positively sure you give point of view. Now, if you don't know what to write about, remember, we said, talk to me about a person. Maybe an important person in your life. Is it a coach? Do you really love that person that coached you? Was he or she really good? And if not, you can still write about that coach. Even if you didn't think that coach was so great, there's going to be lots of dialogue going on. Lots of stuff that you said, lots of stuff that he or she said. What about maybe a grandparent? Talk to me. It could be a teacher. It could be a friend. It could be someone that you met for the first time. Maybe someone that you encountered when you were on a trip someplace. So it can be about a certain person. Now, that would be from whose point of view? Yes, your own point of view. Maybe you're writing about a place. Lots of you wrote about amusement parks. It could be a moment in your life. It can be, like we said earlier, a lesson that you learned. Okay, writers, you may begin.